Put it on the mic. Because Jason, we're taking a trip, friend.
Yeah? Where are we going?
We're going to Shredville.
Okay.
You know who we're going to get greeted by?
Who's that?
The mayor.
The mayor.
Mayor of Shredville, the one, the only, UC Davis head football coach, Tim Plough. Tim, coach, it's Dave's Jason. Good morning.
Boys, it has been way too long. How we doing?
You know what, Tim, that question stresses me out, and I'll tell you why. It's a trigger for me because I'm fine. Jason, how are you?
I'm great.
Tim, you could be having the worst day ever. And then if you ask me that question and I say we're doing great, I just assumed your mood, which, by the way, I assume you're always awesome and you're like chewing through walls and stuff. But let me be polite. How are you doing?
Oh, man, this is the most exciting time. You got feels like getting close to Christmas morning. You got football coming up in a couple of days, and we get to be one of the first games of the year and on ESPN. And so, man, I'm pretty fired up. It's pretty awesome right now.
Yeah, you guys got to get started earlier, I guess, allowed to have camp a little bit earlier than everyone else because you are in this, I guess they call it week 0. What's that adjustment been like to have a runway to this first game, like you said, that's on national TV?
It was definitely an adjustment to start camp early. You know, you kind of lose a week of off-season training. And so you're trying to map out, like, what is that going to look like? I think the positive thing is because they're going to have FCS teams play 12 games every year starting next year, a lot of people are going to have 0-week games. So we get to kind of try it out first because we're probably going to have to do it going forward, which is good. But, man, it's been a good camp. We've stayed healthy for the most part. We've been working the last 2 weeks on just this game. And so I think the guys are feeling really good. They feel fresh. So we're kind of right where we need to be.
You are a constant. The players are not. They graduate, they move on, they transfer, whatever it may be. Do your camps with your messaging stay constant? Do your camps with your strategy stay constant? The reason I ask is with this influx of players you deal with every year, maybe one year your team's built on speed, the next year it's built on strength. Maybe these kids and your leaders are different mentally overall. Do you change your message and strategy to kind of chameleon with your squads, or does that stay the same generally year to year?
I think the strategy is going to be similar because we're still going to have the same things that I feel like are going to help us win football games in practice, right? Whether that's situational football, these type of drills, hey, we're going to do these tackling drills because we got to be a great tackling team. We're going to do these situational drills because we got to be great at situational football. So we're going to still use the same strategy in how we develop the team. The messaging, it will change because the type of team you have is different. Last year, we did have a lot of veteran players that had been here a long time. And so the messaging was a little different for them. This year, we might have more talent, but it's either younger guys that have been here, a few years or a guy that's just gotten here. He's going to be here for a year. I do think that the way that we want to recruit, the way we want to build our team is we want to build it through the high school teams. We want to build it through guys that are going to be here for 4 or 5 years. And because of that, I do think there's a little bit of carryover messaging because I know that there's enough guys on the team that have heard this and it's important to them and they can keep the same environment. We're not going to bring in, 100 new guys every year. We're going to have a lot of high school guys that have been here 4 or 5 years, and then we'll fill that in with, 10 to 12 grad transfer guys here and there that can fill in some spots for us. So it's not like we have a huge overhaul every year. But depending on the age of your team and kind of what their strengths are, you're going to have to change your messaging a little bit. And specifically for this team, it's about, you guys are really talented, but, do you have the ability to make the winning plays late in games? Can you have resiliency within the game? Can you trust each other? Those are the things that we've been talking about a lot.
What's the challenge like, Coach, of trying to ramp that up as fast as you can, as you described? You've got, last year you had Hastings who had played a ton of football for you. Lane Larison, who's, working on making a pro roster. You have a guy that's just such a stud. So now guys that you said may be as good, if not better, but haven't had the reps in the fire. How do you get them as ready as possible for a team that's ranked this week when you play Mercer?
Yeah, the only way to get good at football is to play football, and so we've tried to do as much, live and good on good and, just play football with those guys as much as we can because then organically things will pop up that we can't even think of. I can't create the situations that happen in a football game all the time. So if we just play football, naturally things will happen, and then we can go back and teach off of it. And, you're trying to get them to make mistakes. Like, you're trying to get these guys to make mistakes during practice so you can correct them, and those mistakes aren't happening in the game. So I'm trying to explain to the players, like, I want you to make mistakes. I just want you to make a new mistake every day. That way we can come back and learn from it and get it corrected so it doesn't happen on a Saturday and cost us. And so we're trying to get them to play as much football as we can so those things happen naturally. But you don't know until you get out into a game, man. You don't know until you get out there and watch them play and realize, okay, we need to work on this. We need to improve that. And, you just hope that doesn't cost you a game or as you're going through it. But it'll be fun with these guys because I think our best football will be the end of the year. And so it'll be fun to watch them grow.
That's good because looking at that schedule right now, at the end of the year, you go number 12, number 2, number 15 as it stands right now, and who the hell knows what ranking is going to be at the end of the year. But you start 4 p.m. Mercer, number 11 in the country, on ESPN from Montgomery, Alabama, and of course, you guys number 7. Last question. I want to go back to your recruiting. When you're a team. For example, basketball, football, et cetera, a lot of times they'll be in a draft, which I guess is the closest, to recruiting in college football, the draft. And there's the thought of, are we drafting for fit or are we drafting best player available? Do you recruit to fit your team? And like we talked about your team strategies, do you recruit best player available or is it a blend, coach? How does that work?
Yeah, I would say it's a blend because, you can't overload numbers at a position, especially when your roster's limited, and so you can't just go get 20 receivers because it'll shorten up the other rooms. But I would also say that, hey, if we're going to be maybe short one player in this room and heavy one player in another, but the room we're going to be heavy in, we're going to get a tremendous football player. We have done that many times. And I think the best example I could tell you is in our last recruiting class, we took 3 quarterbacks, and that kind of made people's eyes, bulge out of their head when I would say that sometimes. But the truth is we had a really deep board. We had a deep room. Some of these guys are great athletes. Trent Tompkins came in as a quarterback, and he became an amazing receiver. And Mitch Dixon came in as a quarterback, and he became an amazing tight end. Most of the time in high school, your best players play quarterback. And so we're trying to build the quarterback room. And so we said, you know what? We'll take an extra guy or two because we want a lot of competition in that room. And if they don't pan out, these guys, maybe they move to another position. You just don't know how it works. So I think it goes back and forth, but I would say it's a blend.
Jason, yesterday we were talking about the benchmarks to know when the good stuff's coming.
Right.
Hard Knocks on HBO, preseason NFL, stuff like that. Coach Plough is a huge benchmark because when we're talking to him, we're almost there, baby. The long drought is over. Football is back. UC Davis Aggies football specifically. Coach, we always appreciate you taking time in the morning through your busy schedule to come on with us. And, man, we look forward to talking to you throughout what is hopefully a really successful season down there in Shredville.
Guys, I don't know if I said this enough last year, but, man, I'm so appreciative of you guys, just talking Aggie football and letting me come on. And I'm hoping that there's enough people out there that listen to this every week and get interested and come out and support the boys because they work hard and it's a good team. And so I'm forever grateful for you guys. Let's head on down to Montgomery. I'm going to go over to a Buc-ee's when I get down there and get a brisket sandwich.
Nice.
And then head on out to that game and see if we can get a dub.
Looking forward to the movie report next week, Coach, by the way.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
It's starting. I can't wait.
Good luck down there. Have a safe trip, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks. It's Coach Tim Plough. He's awesome. We're way late for a break, but it was worth it when we come back.